Everyone thinks sunfish are ancient misfits, clumsy fossils adrift in modern seas. But recent evidence proves we were completely wrong. These giants are evolutionary newcomers, engineered for high-speed dives, vertical wing propulsion, and survival in the ocean's deadliest zones. Their strange features are not relics, they are cutting-edge advantages. So why did we get their story so backwards, and what else about these creatures is nothing like we imagined? Fossil jaws and genetic evidence both point to a surprising truth: sunfish are not ancient leftovers from the dawn of fish. The first true fishes appeared more than 500 million years ago, but the sunfish lineage only split from its pufferfish relatives around 68 million years ago. Their earliest fossils, found in Eocene rocks, date to about 40 million years ago, long after the age of dinosaurs had ended. On the geologic clock, that makes sunfish one of the most recent arrivals among the world's major fish groups. Their odd, truncated bodies are not a throwback to prehistoric seas, but a modern twist that evolved well after most familiar fish shapes had already filled the oceans. Instead of being stuck in the past, these animals are the product of rapid innovation, shaped by changing oceans and new ecological opportunities. The myth of the sunfish as a living fossil vanishes when you line up the dates. Strange does not mean primitive. Sometimes it means ahead of its time. Sunfish swim with a design that defies expectation. Instead of the side-to-side body flexing seen in most fish, they rely on a pair of enormous muscles wrapped around their dorsal and anal fins. These fins are positioned vertically and act like wings, sculling back and forth in perfect synchrony to push the fish forward. The entire body stays stiff while the fins slice through the water, generating thrust not from the tail, but from this unique vertical propulsion system. Accelerometer data from tagged sunfish reveal a steady cruising speed of about 3 kilometers per hour, with bursts of acceleration that closely match the patterns seen in free-swimming penguins. This is not a case of slow-motion flailing. It is a calculated, energy-efficient system honed by convergent evolution. No other aquatic vertebrate uses vertically oriented paired fins for primary propulsion. In sunfish, even the muscle architecture is different. Paired muscle blocks anchor each fin, allowing precise, powerful strokes. Their swimming style is less like a typical fish and more like a bird flying underwater, engineered for performance, not for show. Beneath the slick, scaleless skin of a sunfish lies a structure unlike anything in the open ocean. The hypodermis, thick, rubbery, and packed with collagen and elastin, forms a dense meshwork that acts as both armor and buoyancy device. This exoskeleton layer is so tough that it resists the teeth of sharks, the jaws of sea lions, and even the crushing force of an orca bite. Unlike the flexible skin of most fish, the sunfish's outer layer is inflexible and greasy to the touch with no scales at all. Instead, it stretches across the body in a continuous sheet, making the animal feel almost artificial. The material is incompressible, refusing to collapse under pressure, and it is buoyant, lighter than muscle or bone, giving the fish a hidden lift in the water. This combination of stiffness and positive buoyancy reduces drag as the fish moves, while shielding it from injury. What looks like vulnerability is actually a feat of engineering. A living exoskeleton allows the sunfish to grow massive, dive deep, and survive in a world full of predators. At dawn off the Azores, a team led by marine biologist Tierney Theis attached a Mola, a device combining a camera, a satellite tag, and a thermometer, onto the broad back of a wild ocean sunfish. What the device recorded over the next 12 hours would upend everything scientists thought they knew about these animals. The sunfish descended past the blue surface, dropping through the sunlit zone and into darkness. Depth sensors tracked the animal plunging well beyond 1,000 meters into water just above freezing at 4 degrees Celsius. At the surface, the sunfish's body temperature hovered near 20 degrees Celsius. But as it dove, internal readings showed a dramatic plunge down to 12 degrees Celsius. For most bony fish, such a drop would mean confusion, muscle failure, or even death. Yet the sunfish lingered in the midnight zone, repeating this dive pattern multiple times in a single day. Each dive lasted up to 20 minutes before the fish rocketed back toward the light. The telemetry told a story of risk and resilience. On one deep dive, the transmitter cut out, leaving only a trail of erratic signals as the sunfish zigzagged through the cold. It took 36 hours for Theis and her team to recover the drifting tag, but when they downloaded the data, the evidence was clear. The sunfish had survived prolonged exposure to near-lethal cold, making repeated descents that would kill almost any other bony fish. These dives were not rare events. They were daily gambles. The sunfish's body endured temperature swings of 8 degrees or more, dropping from the comfort of temperate surface waters into the edge of a thermal death zone, all in pursuit of prey hidden far below. The footage and data from Theis's Mola cam cracked open a secret life, revealing a creature that faces the ocean's most dangerous depths head-on, again and again. Ocean sunfish face a challenge that would doom most of their bony relatives: how to move up and down the water column without a swim bladder. In nearly all familiar fish, the swim bladder acts as a gas-filled float, adjusting buoyancy as they change depth. But gas compresses under pressure. At 1,000 meters, the swim bladder shrinks, pulling fish downward. Too rapid an ascent, and the expanding gas can rupture organs. For sunfish, this problem simply does not exist. They have no swim bladder at all. Instead, their bodies are engineered for balance through a careful arrangement of tissues. The thick, gelatinous hypodermis just beneath their skin is positively buoyant. Its density is lower than seawater, and it does not compress even in the deepest dives. This layer acts as a built-in lift, offsetting the heavy, negatively buoyant skeleton and muscle beneath. The result is a fish that averages out to almost perfect neutral buoyancy at any depth, from the surface to the midnight zone. Measurements from dissected sunfish confirm that the whole body hovers around 1.025 grams per cubic centimeter, almost exactly the density of seawater. The hypodermis remains stable under pressure, so the fish never has to fight against sinking or risk sudden, uncontrolled rises. This means sunfish can glide, hover, or ascend and descend with minimal effort, even during the extreme daily migrations revealed by tracking tags. Their buoyancy is a quiet feat of physics, hidden in plain sight, allowing them to roam the ocean's vertical frontier where most bony fish simply cannot follow. No other vertebrate matches the reproductive scale of the ocean sunfish. A century-old dissection of a 1.5-meter female counted at least 300 million eggs, a number that once seemed almost unbelievable. More recent studies went even further. In a 2.2-meter specimen, researchers found between 875 million and 1 billion eggs in various stages of development, shattering previous records for any animal with a backbone. For comparison, a beluga sturgeon tops out at around 7 million eggs, and a bluefin tuna at about 30 million. The difference is staggering. Sunfish larvae are barely 1/4 of a centimeter long. They can grow into adults 3 meters across, multiplying their mass by over 60 million times. At the Monterey Bay Aquarium, staff watched one young mola gain nearly 1 kilogram every day for 15 months, an unprecedented growth rate in the fish world. Floating at the surface, the ocean sunfish looks like an accident waiting to happen, a giant, awkward slab drifting in the open sea. For years, this behavior fueled jokes and viral videos calling them the ocean's most clueless creature. But the real story is far more sophisticated. After plunging into water cold enough to threaten their lives, sunfish return to the surface to bask, using their broad, flat bodies as solar panels. Thermal imaging and biologging tags show their body temperature rising rapidly, recovering from a chilling 12 degrees Celsius back up to a safer 20 degrees Celsius in less than an hour. This passive warming is essential. Without it, repeated deep dives would be impossible. The bigger the sunfish, the more heat it can store, letting it dive deeper and longer. What looks like lazy loafing is actually a carefully timed recharge, one that powers a daily routine of risk, resilience, and survival. Every year, researchers uncover more about the sunfish's radical survival toolkit, reminding us that strange is often just misunderstood innovation. As ocean ecosystems change faster than ever, the ability to adapt isn't a relic, it's the only blueprint for survival. Nature never stops rewriting the rules. What do you think?